17, it talks about the command. So the word of the Lord came to Ezekiel, informing that his wife, here in the verse, it is described as a delight of your eyes, because it is like, it's a very close relative for Ezekiel. So God says that, you would be taken him, described as the delight of your eyes, and it will be taken from him suddenly by a fatal blow. So here God says to Ezekiel that you will have a very bad news, and your one of your close people will be taken away from you. God also tells him that, uh, strictly gives a command that he should not be mourning for it. So he should neither weep nor shed any tears against it, or he should also not have any kind of a customary rituals of mourning, say like, removing his turban or uncovering his face, or like, eating the bread of mourners. Nothing should be done. And moving ahead in the verse 24 to 18, it talks about the obedience of Ezekiel. So Ezekiel listens to the command of the Lord. Like in the morning, he actually spoke to the people, but the same day, that evening, Ezekiel's wife passed away. But the next morning, he still compiled with the command, whatever God said. So he like, it's like, what to say, he goes and talk to the people, not showing off that, kind of sorrow, or whatever kind of mourning he has in his heart, he doesn't show it out. In verse 19 to 24, if you observe, people start questioning him, like, how is that your behavior is so weird, like when your wife is passed away, and you are like so normal and casual. So here what happens is, it gives a meaning for Israel. Like, we'll see how it happens. So Ezekiel explained that God was about to profane his sanctuary, so which was their pride and joy, the temple in Jerusalem. So just like Ezekiel was forbidden from mourning his wife, he gives a command to the people, saying that they should also not mourn for the destruction of the temple, right? And 25 to 27 verse says, the sign indicated that when the Jerusalem temple was destroyed, there will be no longer, Ezekiel will no longer shut his mouth, but his mouth will be automatically open. He will speak freely, and the people would know that he was a true prophet. So this was one of the sign to prove that Ezekiel is a true prophet, that God made this also happen. Then in Ezekiel chapter 25, from verse 1 is to 7, it talks about judgment on the Ammonites. So it clearly says that these Ammonites were mocking at the nations, like, when they are judged for saying, when the sanctuary was profaned and the land of Israel was made desolate, and when Judah went into captivity. So God says very clearly that there will be a downfall to them, and we are not, God is against people who are mocking at capitals which are going to be a downfall. So God states in verse 25, in chapter 25, in the verse 7, God clearly says that he will destroy the Ammonites, ensuring they perish from countries, so that they shall definitely know who the Lord is. So this talks about the vindication of the Lord. Now, let's put it in the simple terms and see what is the key takeaway we get to know from this chapter. So the first, I'm going to split into two things. One is from chapter 24, that's being a sign for others. That's about Ezekiel. So sometimes we also go through hard times, not just for ourselves, but to show others how to stay strong or how to trust God. So Ezekiel himself was a living sermon in this case. I would like to relate myself for this, to give this as a best example, because God has recently used me as a sign for others. See, like, as you, I don't know, like, Primam has already announced that, like, I recently delivered a girl baby. So, like, doctor had given a lot of assurance as a, like, that I will be having a normal delivery, but it didn't happen. So, like, it was emergency C-section for me, and I was not at all prepared for it. So what happened is, like, I actually wanted to give up, and I was very anxious, and I have actually questioned God, like, why have you given that situation to me? But God actually gave me strength, and he because I trusted in him and he kept me stronger. So I feel that he has utilized me like a, sign for others, that like how he showed for Ezekiel, that here it's trying to tell us that how our actions it teaches that our actions during the crisis speak much louder than our words. So that I would like to tell for this particular sign. And then the second thing in 25 chapter beginning itself, uh, it clearly says not to laugh at the downfall of others. So if you see, the neighboring countries were very happy to look at, like the downfall of when Jerusalem was in trouble. They were very happy to see that God was not happy about it. So never find joy in someone's failure or sadness. Like even for children, I'm saying, whether it's your classmate failing a test, or in a game also they might lose. So we should definitely have sympathy on people, and let's not have any kind of pride in seeing others downfall. So I would like to conclude by just putting across one question in everyone's mind, which I would also would like to reflect upon. So Ezekiel had to stay disciplined and very strong, even when he was in a very critical and bad situation, when he was in a situation where he was supposed to mourn. So how do we handle our responsibilities and situations when we are also feeling stressed or upset? So let's reflect on that.